The Indiana Fever, Kelsey Money Mitch, put him in a ditch. Lexi Holt taking over. Ari McDonald and her farm giving me assists, giving me steals. 5 assists for Ari McDonald. Oh yeah, we're ready. We are ready. The Indiana Fever beat the Washington Mystics in the first game of the Commissioner's Cup, 85-76.
The Washington Mystics thought they had crushed the Indiana Fever for good. After roughing up Sophie Cunningham in the preseason and handing them a humiliating loss on May 28th, they assumed the Fever were finished. Then Caitlin Clark went down with an injury, and just like that, everyone counted Indiana out.
For both of you, just getting your first win after a 3-game losing streak, how did it feel?
I mean, I'm just proud of our group for staying with it. Obviously, we can't control injuries, we can't control any of that, but I think we had 2 really good practices this week, and to be able to come out and get a win after that, I'm just proud of us for fighting, and also just really proud of Ari for coming out and providing just some incredible minutes, 27 minutes, and she was ready. She stayed ready, and we needed every single one of those, and just really proud of the group today.
But here's what the Mystics didn't see coming. Sometimes when you knock a team down, they rise up swinging even harder. And on June 3rd, with their star player out and their backs against the wall, the Fever came out fighting. What they delivered was the ultimate revenge performance. If you're riding with this squad, drop a "I've got the Fever" in the comments. Let's go.
Fever dog, you know what's coming. Bow, bow, bow. On to the next. Woo! Feels good, baby. Woo! Making a whip out of baby. That's a good-looking dog. Woo! Happy days.
What really made this rematch so personal? Let's rewind. The last time these two teams faced off, the Washington Mystics marched into CFG Bank Arena and walked away with an 83-77 win. But it wasn't just the scoreboard that hurt, it was the disrespect. The Mystics played like Indiana didn't even belong on the floor, carrying themselves with a swagger that basically said, "We own you."
Indiana Fever lose to a young Washington Mystics team, 83-77. Look lost without Caitlin Clark.
I'll say it. Fire Stephanie White. Oh boy.
But the disrespect didn't start with that game. It began way back in the preseason. Remember how the Mystics went after Sophie Cunningham? They pushed her around like she was irrelevant, treating the Fever like they were nothing more than practice dummies. That kind of arrogance set the tone for everything that came next.
And that's Kiki Arafin, and I gotta tell you, here we go with the smiling like you've done. I don't get it. This is the worst part of the WNBA. It is.
Came the injury that changed everything. On May 26th, Caitlin Clark suffered a left quad strain during a matchup against the New York Liberty. The moment she went down, the basketball world turned the page on Indiana. The narrative was instant. They're finished without her. Doctors said at least 2 weeks out, maybe more, and things only got worse from there. Without Clark, the Fever couldn't catch a break. First, they took another loss to the Liberty. Then the Mystics humiliated them on May 28th, and just when it seemed it couldn't get any worse, the Connecticut Sun added to the misery on May 31st. That's 3 straight defeats, and 3 straight reminders of what everyone was saying. The Fever are nothing without Caitlin Clark.
This was a absolute embarrassment. An embarrassing performance from the Indiana Fever.
The Mystics probably circled June 3rd on the calendar and marked it down as another easy win. And why wouldn't they? Indiana looked like they were crumbling. Caitlin Clark was sidelined in street clothes, and the team seemed lost every time they hit the court. But that's exactly what made the moment ripe for revenge. Washington expected the same shaken squad they had just dominated. They thought they were walking into a cakewalk, ready to pick apart a team that looked wounded and done. What they didn't know? While the losses piled up, the Fever weren't falling apart. They were regrouping. In the shadows of defeat, they were quietly building something dangerous. And on June 3rd, they made Washington pay for every ounce of disrespect they had dished out. With Caitlin Clark out of action, the big question was, who would take the lead on this revenge run? The answer came from a familiar face, Kelsey Mitchell, Clark's trusted backcourt partner over the past year, and the heartbeat of this franchise for nearly a decade. Mitchell stepped up when it mattered most. With their star sidelined, it was Kelsey who carried the weight of the team and the hope of an entire fan base on her shoulders.
Fever had the first 4. Washington has rattled off 8 in a row. Indiana's missed 5 straight shots. Mitchell catch and shoot and ends it with a 3.
Great screen on the baseline by Bonner. She's point guard of the future for them.
Mitchell turns the corner, gets inside and lays it in.
Look at Mitchell. I'm telling you, Pat, what am I going to say about Mitchell?
Kelsey Mitchell understood exactly what was at stake. She had been on the court just days earlier when the Mystics handed Indiana a humbling loss. She saw the way Washington treated her squad like they didn't even belong in the league. Now, with Caitlin Clark out, all eyes were on her. The pressure was intense and the expectation was clear. Without their superstar, the Fever were supposed to fold, but Mitchell wasn't about to let that happen. From the opening tip, you could feel it. Indiana needed a leader, someone to take control. Mitchell glanced around the floor and knew it had to be her. She's been in this league for years, but this moment, this one felt different. This was her chance to prove she could carry the weight, that she could lead her team to a statement win when it mattered most. And what made Mitchell's performance so powerful wasn't just her skill, it was her mindset. She wasn't chasing stats. She wasn't thinking about herself. She was locked in on one thing, making the Mystics pay for disrespecting her team. Washington came prepared. They built their entire defensive game plan around stopping her, knowing she'd be the go-to scorer without Clark. But Mitchell found ways to break through, no matter what they threw at her.
All of that comes into play, and Indiana's done a nice job feeding the post.
Mitchell off the screen, finds some space. Oh, it's a much-needed 3. McDonald trying to use that Boston screen. McDonald inside, Mitchell hangs, lays it in, and a foul! Kelsey Mitchell trying to put the finishing touches on this one.
Mitchell came out aggressive, attacking the rim from the jump. When the Mystics tried to trap her with double teams, she didn't panic. She kept her composure and found the open teammate. And when she got space on the perimeter, she made them pay. Her three-point shot was locked in, bucket after bucket from deep, forcing Washington to scramble and rework their entire defensive strategy.
Kelsey Mitchell breaking out of her slump a little bit, making some big plays down the stretch. Also something that Kelsey Mitchell did late in that game, she got hit by McDonald with a pass. She moved without the ball. And Kelsey's the kind of player you can give her the ball and let her cook, clear out, but also it's going to make her tough to guard when she is able to be active without the ball in her hands. So that was a good sign, I think, for the Fever's offense and some of that motion offense that Stephanie White is trying to instill.
The seasoned guard finished the game shooting 7 of 14 from the floor and knocking down 4 of 7 from beyond the arc. But the real highlight came in the fourth quarter. As the Mystics pushed for a comeback, Mitchell put the game out of reach with a clutch three-point play that stretched the Fever's lead. When it mattered most, Washington just couldn't stop her. She proved Indiana wasn't just a one-woman show. Her teammate, Ari McDonald, summed it up perfectly. She did everything flawlessly and with so much poise. That performance was a masterclass in leadership when the pressure was at its peak.
Kelsey Money Mitch, oh yeah. Take us home, Kels. Take us home. 24 points, 3 assists, 2 rebounds. It feels good to be coming here to you after this game.
What made Mitchell's performance even more impressive was that she wasn't just scoring, she was setting up her teammates to shine. Coach Stephanie White highlighted that the Fever racked up 21 assists on 30 made baskets. Mitchell's unselfish play and trust in her squad unlocked the entire offense, transforming Indiana into a team capable of beating anyone. Sometimes, the most powerful revenge comes from the players no one expected. While Kelsey Mitchell grabbed the spotlight, 2 other Fever stars delivered the knockout blow that left the Mystics reeling. Lexi Hull and Ari McDonald turned the game into something Washington never saw coming.
Hull, who continues to shine. I mean, Lexi Hull has just been terrific this season. She is shooting the ball at an unbelievable clip. Talk about drawing fouls, talk about energy, talk about plus minus not being a deceiving stat. That is the case with Lexi Hull, who's plus 19 in this game, and it feels completely accurate, right? I mean, she's shooting 57% from 3 on the season going in, 52% from the field. I believe that's going in as well, but regardless, you get the point. Shooting the ball well.
Let's start with Lexi Hall. While she brought her trademark energy and hustle, offensively she was a non-factor in the first half. No points on the board. The Mystics probably thought they had her locked down. Sitting on the bench at halftime, Hall knew her team needed a spark, but she stayed focused, kept grinding, and waited patiently for her chance to make an impact.
Lexi Hall, 14 points, 6 rebounds, 4 assists. Lexi Hall, taking it off the dribble, taking it off the dribble, reverse layup. Lexi Hall, what got into you today, Lexi? What got into you in that third quarter? Holy smokes. Lexi Hall. Dude, Lexi Hall taking Sonia Citron off the dribble. Yeah, she's like that. Lexi Hall, reverse layup. Okay, Lexi, go on with your bad self. Go on with your bad self.
Then the magic unfolded. Hull came out blazing in the second half, hitting 5 of 6 shots just in the third quarter. Every one of her 14 points came after halftime. She also grabbed 6 rebounds and dished out 4 assists, stepping up exactly when the Fever needed her most. Now, here's where it gets wild. With Aerie McDonald, the Fever signed her on an emergency hardship contract just days before this game. Think about that pressure. Clark was sidelined, Sophie Cunningham was out, Sydney Colson was injured. McDonald had to fly into Indianapolis, study game film on the plane, learn the playbook alongside the coaches, and then step into the season's biggest revenge game with barely any time to prepare.
Dealing with a bit of a personnel problem when Clark goes down, and then Colson goes down, and then obviously Cunningham goes down to the point where even without Clark, they didn't really have much of a capable backup, and then the backup goes down. By the way, shout out to Sydney Colson, who actually played well in this game, really banged up, taking it on the chin for the Fever. That's another thing that McDonald did well also, is put her body on the line. You know, she doesn't have a guaranteed spot, so you got to give her respect for that.
The risk was huge. Throwing a brand new player into a high pressure game like this isn't something you do lightly. McDonald had experience with Atlanta and Los Angeles, but this was her first time wearing a Fever jersey. She had to quickly learn her teammates' habits while facing the very Mystic squad that had just humiliated Indiana. McDonald didn't disappoint. She logged 27 minutes, putting up 7 points and 5 assists. But the real highlight, in her first 8 minutes, she drew 3 offensive fouls. On defense, she turned into a relentless force, shutting down Washington's offense and throwing a wrench in their plans at every turn.
Let's not leave out Aerie McDonald. 2 for 7, 1 for 5 from 3. Maybe not shoot threes, but Aerie McDonald, 5 assists, 0 turnovers. Welcome to Indiana, Aerie. Welcome to 3 steals. One of them was a steal and score. Folks, you know what they say, first impressions mean everything. And Aerie McDonald, first impression, I'm calling up Ronald right now. I'm calling up Ronald McDonald right now. I need a Mick steals meal. I need a Mick assist meal. I need a Mick hustle meal. Aerie McDonald, oh, it feels good having a point guard that can dribble and not turn it over and get flustered when they see pressure. Oh, it feels good. It feels good.
After the game, Lexi Hall said, "We needed her out there. She was a game changer on defense, drawing those offensive fouls. I'm so proud of her and glad she's part of the team." Meanwhile, Mitchell praised McDonald as the ultimate professional for quickly learning the plays and making an impact on both ends of the floor. The Mystics were completely unprepared for what they faced. Expecting the same struggling Fever squad from May 28th, they were shocked to see Hull scoring effortlessly and McDonald wreaking havoc on defense. Coach Stephanie White summed it up perfectly, calling McDonald's performance exactly what the team needed. What if losing Caitlin Clark, even if only temporarily, turned out to be a blessing in disguise? This victory over Washington revealed something far bigger than just settling the score. The Fever realized they could lean on each other instead of depending on one superstar. Every player on the court proved they belong in high-pressure moments.
Give credit to the players. We won because of the players. We won because of Aerie, because of Lexi, because of Kelsey, because of Dantis, because of AB. We won because of them. They played a solid game. This is how we should be beating teams, even without Caitlin Clark, folks. Even without Caitlin Clark. And hopefully, right here we go. Now that Aerie McDonald is here, who would have thought we would be saying this early in the season? Hopefully, now that Aerie McDonald is here, somebody to take pressure off Kelsey Mitchell. Is that what we needed, Kelsey? Is that all you needed? You just needed a point guard? Say no more. A point guard that can dribble and push it? Say no more.
Coach Stephanie White got exactly what she was hoping for as her team racked up 21 assists on 30 made shots. "This is the style we want, the style we need to succeed," White said after the game. The ball flowed smoothly around the court, players made the extra pass instead of forcing shots, opening up better chances for everyone. During this run, Kelsey Mitchell stepped up as a true leader. She wasn't just putting up 23 points, she was running the offense, keeping everyone involved and focused. Mitchell embraced the role of veteran mentor that this young squad desperately needed, proving she could rise to the occasion when the pressure was highest.
Our ability to drive and get angles and be able to find and touch the paint with 2 feet and either, score and/or get these threes that you're talking about, it kind of just serves to everyone kind of getting a rhythm and everybody finding a way to kind of be impacted through the game. And I think the more that we do touch the paint, the more that we do get drives and play inside out through AB and Didi and them like that, I think it just kind of, you're going to see more open up for us. And so I just think we got to give ourselves some grace, but stay patient.
Lexi Hull uncovered something even more important, her clutch gene. Every one of her 14 points came at the moments that truly counted. She realized she has the ability to take control of entire quarters and swing the momentum of a game. That kind of confidence won't just vanish when Caitlin Clark returns.
A big focus for us is 0.5 basketball. Get the ball, do something with it. Either drive, pass, shoot, and just trying to make those right reads and make them quick. And I think that helps just when our spacing's good, those reads are way easier. And I think that's really what it comes down to. I think our team just played really well together and we got to spots and we made the extra pass. And we shot, I don't remember what they said, but a lot of our points were off of assists. And that's all we can really ask for a team. So just really, again, I'm just so happy with the outcome of the game and how everyone felt out there. It was fun.
Then there's Aari McDonald, who stepped in to fix the Fever's biggest weakness this season, point guard depth. With Sydney Colson struggling to meet expectations, McDonald joined on an emergency contract and instantly proved she belonged. In her first game, she put up 7 points, 5 assists, and 3 steals that disrupted Washington's offense. Coach White praised her defensive fire, saying it was exactly what the team needed. Her quick adjustment shows the Fever can bring in new talent and make it work right away. That kind of depth becomes even more threatening once Caitlin Clark is back on the court.
Unbelievable job of coming in yesterday and really knowing the plays. Kind of like somebody said in the locker room, we feel like you knew the plays more than us, or she just kind of was on it. And I think it just goes to serve to show what pros are and how they're supposed to operate. And she did everything amazingly and with such grace. And I think for us, we could use what she brings to the table offensively and defensively. She can guard the ball. She can get us all positioned to get shots. And I think more importantly, she's fun to play with. So I think we get a collective great guard all the way around.
What makes this so thrilling for 2025 is that every player now believes they can rise to the occasion. Mitchell has stepped into the leadership role. Hall knows she can take control of games, and McDonald has proven she can run the offense while locking down opponents on defense. The role players have evolved into real threats. Now imagine what happens when you add Clark back into the mix. The Fever won't be just a one-woman show anymore. They'll have multiple players capable of causing serious damage every night. Opponents won't be able to focus solely on stopping Clark when players like Aaliyah Boston, Mitchell, Hull, and a battle-tested bench are all legitimate weapons. This team, forged through shared wins and resilience, is about to welcome back their superstar, and that combo lays the groundwork for something truly special in Indianapolis.
We did a good job of trying to kind of stay in it, because when people score on you, you don't know how to stop it at times. And I think that we just stayed really, really resilient, because it could have went the opposite way. We would have had another conversation, but I think we did a good job of staying grounded when they did make that run. And I believe that our team trusts one another in order to make and get stopped. So it's a collective effort.
That 85-76 win changed the entire outlook for the Fever's championship dreams. They proved they're not just Caitlin Clark plus a supporting cast. They're a solid team that can deliver when it counts. Mitchell stepped up as a true leader. Hall showed she can take control of games, and McDonald made it clear she deserves a spot in the rotation for 2025. The Fever will hit the court again this week without Clark, and every game is another chance to build something special. They're learning they can compete with anyone in the league. That night, the Washington Mystics got a tough lesson. Bullies don't always come out on top. Sometimes the team they underestimated comes back with a vengeance. Show your support for the Fever by commenting, "I've got the Fever," below. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and turn on all notifications so you never miss an update. Click the video on screen, and we'll catch you in the next one.